Wayne Dyer's secret, why you feel empty inside. We've all had that moment. You're lying awake in the middle of the night, staring at the ceiling. Everything is quiet, but inside, there's this strange noise and ache, a pull, a void. You can't quite name it, but you feel it. You've done everything right. You've worked hard. You've followed the rules. You've checked the boxes that society said would lead to fulfillment: education, career, relationships, money, status. And yet, somehow you feel empty, like something is missing. Like you've built a life that looks full on the outside but feels hollow inside. That's the moment Wayne Dyer spoke to. That's when his most radical idea cuts through the noise. You can't give away what you don't have. At first, that statement sounds simple. But let it sink in for a moment. You can't give love if you don't have love within you. You can't offer peace if your internal world is in chaos. You can't uplift others if you're secretly drowning. So many of us are trying to pour from an empty cup, giving to others what we haven't yet cultivated inside ourselves. And then we wonder why we feel drained, resentful, disconnected. We wonder why our relationships feel one-sided. We wonder why we're exhausted after trying so hard to be everything for everyone. Here's the philosophical trap. We've been conditioned to believe that our worth comes from what we do, not who we are. So we hustle, we overextend, we perform roles, we take on burdens that don't belong to us. We give and give, hoping that by being useful, by being needed, we'll finally feel whole. But instead we feel used, we feel unseen. Because all we've done is reinforce a lie that our internal emptiness can be filled externally. But Wayne Dyer was clear: you can't give away what you don't have. And you also can't receive what you're not open to within yourself. Think about it. How often do we chase love from others while not loving ourselves? How often do we demand respect while quietly disrespecting our own boundaries? How many of us are trying to be a source of light for others while living in our own darkness? This isn't about blame, it's about awakening. We've been taught to look outward for what we must first build inward. And that's where the emptiness comes from, not from failure, but from misdirection. We're climbing the wrong mountain.
Click subscribe to this channel to get more profound insights.
Dyer's message isn't just spiritual feel-good talk. It's a deep philosophical challenge. He asks us to flip the script. Instead of asking, how can I get others to love me? Ask, how can I embody love within myself? Instead of chasing peace through external control, cultivate inner stillness. Because if you don't have it within you, you cannot share it. And here's the twist: you might not even recognize it when it shows up. If you don't know what unconditional love feels like internally, you might reject it when someone offers it to you. That's the danger of the inner void. It warps your perception of what's real. And this brings up the deeper question: how do we fill that void? How do we build what we've never had? How do we give ourselves what no one else ever did? That's the real work. Not chasing more accomplishments, not pleasing more people, but finally turning inward and facing the raw truth: I've been trying to give what I haven't yet found. And maybe that's okay. Maybe now is the time to stop running and start building. Wayne Dyer didn't promise that the journey inward would be easy, but he promised it would be worth it. Because once you start to fill the emptiness with authenticity, with compassion for yourself, with forgiveness, with presence, then, and only then, do you start to have something real to give. not performance, not obligation, but genuine energy. And that's when relationships transform. That's when purpose becomes clear. That's when life stops feeling like a constant transaction and starts feeling like a sacred offering. So before we go further, ask yourself one terrifyingly honest question: am I trying to give what I don't have? And if the answer is yes, don't panic. That's the beginning of awakening. That's the moment the illusion cracks. Because now you're no longer chasing fulfillment, you're beginning to become it. The mirror of emptiness, how we project what we lack. The most paradoxical aspect of emptiness is that it doesn't stay hidden. It leaks. It spills into every area of our lives, often without us realizing it. Wayne Dyer's insight that we cannot give what we don't have was not just a warning about personal burnout. It was a mirror held up to the way we interact with the world. Because when we lack love, we project need. When we lack peace, we project control. When we lack self-worth, we demand validation. And those projections shape our reality more than we like to admit. Let's go deeper. Think about how often you've tried to change someone, tried to fix them, help them, shape them under the belief that it was selfless. But if you look closely, was it truly out of overflow? Or was some part of it an unconscious attempt to heal a part of yourself through someone else? We do this all the time. We try to give support while secretly craving it. We offer advice not because we're whole, but because we're afraid. Afraid that if we stop giving, we won't be needed. Afraid that if we're not useful, we'll be invisible. This is what happens when we project our internal emptiness onto others. We expect them to fill it. We enter relationships hoping to be completed. We chase achievements hoping to feel worthy. We post online hoping to feel seen. And yet, the more we project, the more disconnected we become. Because projections aren't real connections, they're shadows. They're illusions born from lack, and the deeper the lack, the more distorted the world looks. Wayne Dyer often said, "Loving people live in a loving world. Hostile people live in a hostile world, same world." That quote isn't just poetic, it's scientific. It's psychological. It's spiritual. It reminds us that perception is not passive. It's active. We don't just see the world, we shape it through the lens of our own inner state. If there's a void inside, the world becomes a place of scarcity. If there's love inside, the world becomes a place of abundance. And yet, we rarely stop to question the lens. We rarely ask, what am I projecting? Instead, we keep trying to rearrange the furniture of the external world, hoping it will fix the architecture of our inner world. But it never works. People disappoint us. Success doesn't satisfy. Recognition fades. Because none of it was ever meant to fill the void, it was only ever meant to reflect what's already there. This is why Dyer's wisdom is so powerful and so confronting. He's not just asking us to look inward. He's asking us to take responsibility for our projections, to stop blaming the world for what we haven't given ourselves. That doesn't mean we caused our pain. It doesn't mean we're at fault for our wounds. But it does mean that healing is our responsibility. No one else can do it for us. No partner, no job, no amount of success will complete a person who hasn't yet turned inward and asked, what do I truly have to give? And here's the twist. The moment we stop projecting and start cultivating, everything changes. When we give love from fullness, not need, it expands. When we bring peace instead of seeking it, the world feels safer. When we walk into a room carrying worth instead of needing to earn it, we stop performing and start being. That's when our presence becomes a gift. Not because we're trying to impress, but because we're simply overflowing. So ask yourself now, what have I been expecting from others that I haven't yet built within myself? That question can be terrifying, but it's also liberating, because once you see it, you can stop the cycle. You can stop demanding from the external what only the internal can provide. And that's when the real transformation begins. Not by changing what you do, but by changing who you believe you are. And that our identity, our self-image, our story is the next layer we must uncover. The identity illusion. Why who you think you are is holding you back. What if the person you think you are, the one with the name, the job title, the backstory, the personality traits, what if that version of you is just a costume? What if it's not who you are, but who you've learned to be in order to survive? Wayne Dyer often reminded us that we're not human beings having occasional spiritual experiences, we're spiritual beings having a human experience. And that means the identity we so fiercely guard, the one we defend in arguments, the one we present to the world, might actually be the biggest barrier to our fulfillment. Let's be real, most of us have built our identities around pain, pride, and protection. We form beliefs about ourselves based on what hurt us, who praised us, and what helped us feel safe. Someone told you that you were difficult as a child, so now you're overly accommodating. Someone ignored you, so now you seek validation through achievement. Someone left you, so now you don't trust anyone. These patterns become stories, and the stories become who we believe we are. But here's the truth Dyer would whisper if he were here now. You are not your story. You're the awareness behind it. This is more than just philosophy, it's freedom. Because if you're not your story, then you're not bound by it. You can rewrite it. You can let it go. You can drop the identity that says I'm not enough, I'm too much, I always mess things up. And instead reconnect with the self that existed before the world told you who to be. That self is not broken. That self is not lacking. That self doesn't need to earn love, it is love. And the more you remember that, the less you try to extract your worth from the world. But to get there, you have to ask a hard question. Who am I when I'm not performing? Not for social media, not for approval, not for survival, just being. Who are you when there's nothing to prove, nothing to protect, nothing to earn? For most people, that question is terrifying. Because without the story, we fear there's nothing left. But what if what's left is everything? What if that quiet space behind the mask is the source of peace, love, and joy you've been chasing in the outside world? Wayne Dyer didn't teach self-help in the traditional sense. He didn't want you to become a better version of your ego. He wanted you to let go of the ego altogether, not to destroy it, but to stop mistaking it for your essence. Because the ego is what keeps you running on the treadmill of worth. It says you'll be enough when you have more money, more followers, more success, more love. But the soul says you are already enough. You've always been enough. And that shift from ego identity to soul awareness is what truly heals the emptiness inside. Here's the paradox. The moment you stop trying to become someone and start remembering who you already are, the emptiness begins to fill. Not with noise, not with distraction, but with presence, with a deep, unshakable sense that nothing is missing. And from that place you begin to give, not to get, not to be liked, not to be praised, but simply because you are the thing you're giving. You are peace, you are love, You are grace in motion. So the next time you catch yourself saying, "That's just who I am," pause. Ask yourself, is that who I truly am? Or is that who I became because I forgot? Because if you're willing to question your identity, even for a moment, you create space for your true self to step forward. And that self doesn't need to chase anything. It only needs to remember. That's what Wayne Dyer was trying to tell us all along. The emptiness we feel is not a flaw, it's a signal. A signal that we've been living from the outside in instead of the inside out. And once we reverse that flow, once we become the source instead of the seeker, everything changes. Becoming the source, how to cultivate what the world can't give you. So how do we do it? How do we become the source not just of what we want, but of what we are longing for others to give us? Wayne Dyer's answer was surprisingly simple, yet deeply profound. You begin by turning inward with radical honesty and compassion. You stop waiting for the world to validate you, and instead, you begin to build within yourself the very things you've spent your life chasing. Love, peace, joy, self-worth. These aren't things you acquire, they're things you uncover. Let's be clear, this isn't about pretending you're happy when you're not. It's not about bypassing pain or faking positivity. Becoming the source means facing the truth of your current state without judgment. If there's sadness, you meet it with grace. If there's anger, you hold space for it. If there's emptiness, you breathe into it, not trying to escape it, but listening to what it's trying to teach you. Because your pain isn't the enemy, it's a messenger. And when you stop running from it, it begins to transform. Wayne Dyer wasn't preaching self-sufficiency in the cold, isolated sense. He was showing us that freedom begins when you stop depending on outer circumstances to dictate your inner state. But when you stop needing someone else to make you feel loved before you choose to love yourself. When you stop blaming the world for not giving you peace and instead ask, what can I do to cultivate peace within me right now? That shift is everything. It's the moment you stop reacting to life and start creating it. This is where the emptiness dissolves, not because something outside finally filled it, but because you stopped waiting and started becoming. You stopped asking for permission to feel whole. You realized that life isn't about what you accumulate, but what you embody. When you embody love, you don't just receive it, you radiate it. When you embody peace, you carry it into every room you enter. And that's the power of becoming the source. You no longer walk around begging the world to complete you. You complete yourself, and in doing so, you change the world around you. So here's the final question, one that could change everything if you're brave enough to answer it. What have you been waiting to receive that you could start giving yourself today? Is it forgiveness? Start with you. Is it love? Practice looking in the mirror and seeing past the flaws. Is it validation? Begin by honoring your truth, even if no one else claps for it. Because once you realize that everything you've been seeking is already within you, the game changes. You stop chasing, you start becoming. That was Wayne Dyer's secret. That's why we feel empty, not because life has failed us, but because we've forgotten who we are. And once we remember, once we return to that inner source, we no longer need the world to fill us. We become the light we were looking for. And from that place, we don't just give, we overflow.